Global relocation news directly from Barcelona. Hey guys, Alina is here with you, and today let's talk about fresh news from the world of relocation. News number 1. Panama named the world's best country for expats in 2025. Yoo-hoo for Panama! Actually, it's really interesting because if you dream of sunshine, coffee and affordable living, Panama might just be the perfect destination. Actually, every year, internations make Expat Insider survey. So every year they are questioning all the expats all over the globe about which country they are thinking is the best for foreigners. So this year, expats, they said that 35% of them wanna live in Panama and wanna retire there. Imagine. So Colombia ranked second, and then Mexico, Thailand and Vietnam. So actually, guys, it's interesting because on the bottom of the list were Kuwait, Turkey and South Korea. In total, internations surveyed over 10,000 expats of 172 nationalities living in 46 countries. So everybody decided that Panama is the best. Another important news, we actually gathered for you 7 most affordable countries for citizenship by investment in 2026. If you want to invest in your next passport, there is the countries that are really eligible for that. So on the first place, you can find Nauru. Minimum investment is $130,000. And what is interesting, if you will have citizenship of Nauru, you will obtain visa-free access to 88 destinations, including the UK, Singapore and Hong Kong. Dual citizenship is allowed. On the second place, you can find Dominica. Minimum investment $200,000. And what is interesting, you will have access to 142 destinations worldwide. On the third place, North Macedonia with €200,000 is actually Europe's most affordable golden visa, because you know that in different countries of Europe they are kind of canceling golden visa. For example, in Spain, in Portugal, it's harder to get golden visa lately, and every country is kind of changing their politics. Some countries they are open golden visa, some countries they actually close this program. So if you wanna kind of have citizenship, you wanna invest in your visa, but you don't want to spend much, actually I think North Macedonia it can be good choice for you. So only €200,000. On fourth place we have Antigua and Barbuda with 200,030. Okay, San Lucia with $240,000, and we have then St. Kitts and Nevis and Turkey with $400,000 investment for real estate. So actually it's 7 best countries that you can check for investment in 2026 if you want to obtain visa or citizenship. Record number of Americans moving to Spain. Spain has become the top destination in the European Union for Americans. Actually, every year they're saying who is moving where, okay? So imagine more and more Americans are packing their bags and heading straight to sunny Spain. So according to Eurostat, over 80,000 US citizens were granted first-time residence permits in European Union. But Spain alone gives 15,000 permits. Imagine. On the next place we have France with 13,000 permits and Germany with 8,000 permits, then Netherlands with 6,000 and Denmark with 5,000 permits. So actually on the first place Spain, and then we have another countries. I think actually why Spain, it's obvious. It's weather, it's amazing food, relaxed lifestyle and sun and sea and all this beauty. But it's interesting that after Spain we actually have countries that maybe don't have as much sun, but we know that France and Germany and Netherlands, they have a lot of job actually options, they have good tax policy, so it's interesting the choice. Okay, so as you can see, the choice is not only weather, it's actually another different details. And it's interesting, if you will check the cities, mostly Americans are moving to Madrid, to Barcelona, to Valencia and to Malaga. And officially for today 49,000 Americans live in Spain. Great news directly from Italy. Italy said that in 2026 they will wait the workers from all over the world because they have labor shortages. They said we don't have hands, we need people to work our work. Actually, I really like that Italy kind of opened the doors, because that's a huge problem for Italy, because I know that a lot of Italians, they are moving to another countries of Europe to work, so they don't have enough, not local people and not foreigners, to actually take all these job positions that they have for today. So what Italy said? They said that in 2026 they will wait for 160,000 people to come to work and obtain work permit. And then till 2028, they want to give 500,000 job permits, work permits in Italy. I think actually it's really good, because it's opening positions for everybody, and we know that a lot of people, they want to come to Europe, they want to work, and actually they even have amazing profession and they already have someone to employ them, but they need work permit for that. And if country actually will give the permit easily, of course, a lot of people will come and they will work, and actually it will be win-win for everybody. So, guys, if you want to check work positions, you need to check Italy. Portugal approves amendment to citizenship law. Actually, it's huge news, because I know that lately a lot of people were moving to Portugal and were expecting to obtain Portugal citizenship in 5 years. And now, huge news directly from Portugal. They switch the law, and now you need to wait for your Portugal passport during 10 years. Actually, it's the same amount of time that you need to wait, for example, for passport in Spain. A lot of people shocked about that, and actually I read a lot of comments about that, and some people saying, oh, I was waiting for my passport, that's why actually in Portugal. And then local people, they're saying, so if you are living in our country just waiting for the passport, then we don't need you here. And actually I see that it's like, you know, interesting point of view from both sides, because a lot of people who are coming, of course, they have their reasons. Someone is coming for taxes, for weather, for passports maybe, so they have the right because they are paying taxes, they are giving something to society. But of course, a lot of local people, they say, if you are giving to society long enough, that's when you will have permit to obtain citizenship. So actually what is interesting here, that first of all is longer residency requirement. So 7 years for citizens of European Union or Portuguese-speaking countries, and 10 years for all other applicants. It's the first rule, okay? Then they say that you need to demonstrate knowledge of Portuguese language, of course, because mostly in all the countries you need to pass the exam of the culture, of the language, so in Portugal now too. Then you need to make declaration of commitment to democratic principles is now mandatory. And then, of course, what is interesting about Portugal, that actually you can combine different periods of legal residence to meet 10 years. So actually it's not only you need to live like 10 years, 1, 2, 3, 4. You actually can gather your living time in Portugal 1 year there, 2 years there, and now you are living like 7 years more, and that's how you have your 10 years. So the residency period will be counted from the date of issue of the residency card, not from the moment of applying for residence permit. And it's interesting too, because we know that in Portugal they actually checking documents during a lot of time, and some people, they were waiting like 1, 2, 3 years for residency card, and then only from the date of issue of residency card, that's when the count will start. So of course a lot of people are kind of really shocked with this news, and what they say, that final vote, it's already happened, and President of Portugal didn't make any veto on this, so it's already active. And of course, like life of a lot of people, it's kind of changed. So a lot of people, they now thinking, if I will wait 10 years, do I want to wait in Portugal, or I want to check another country of Europe? But I think from the side of Portuguese people, of course, they think that it's at least fair, because you need to kind of respect the country and be there enough time to call yourself Portuguese. Big news from DreamLife, from my relocation company. Guys, we are heading to Web Summit 2025, and this year Web Summit just select us as Impact Startup 2025, because you know we are not just relocate people, we are not just building dream lives, we're actually creating amazing technology. We create Dream Visa Calculator with AI that will help you to find your best visa match. I know that a lot of people, they don't know what visa they're eligible for, and that's how they don't know where to move and how to move. But imagine that you can enter to our Dream Visa Calculator, just answer 6 simple questions, and then immediately you will know 3 best visa options for you. It's beautiful, and it's totally free, and it's totally simple, and it's already live. And I will put you here link to our Dream Visa Calculator. Go now to check. It's live already, Spain, Portugal, and Poland, and you can check your options, your visa options. And I know that actually my idea is to make a revolution in relocation, because I know that you need to make a lot of consultations with different lawyers, search everywhere, check all the articles, and they are outdated. And even ChatGPT gives like really crazy ideas on the visas and on permits. But imagine you just check in one place totally for free. In 1 minute you have your best visa options. I think it will be huge, it will be amazing. We're only starting. For now we have 3 countries in our visa calculator, but in the future we will have at least 50 countries. So I know that it will be the best world tool for relocation. So guys, go now to check. Really interesting news coming from Great Britain. Mind the what? We know that everybody knows this like phrase from London, mind the gap. But what if you will mind the what? Because actually it's really interesting. Now Britain said that you need to pay additional taxes for your education. So of course, if your kid will study in amazing, like really a good school, your VAT will add kind of 20% to the payment. And if you're paying already 200,000 euros per year, imagine it's 40,000 more per year. So what are doing UK parents? They actually decide to move their kids abroad for education. So they're moving their kids now to France, to Switzerland, to another countries, just to save money on education, because they don't want to save on quality, but they want to save the VAT. So actually it's interesting, you know, because for example, average annual fee for UK day school has risen for 22%, around £22,000. So of course, if for example you will move your kid to Switzerland, for example, or if your kid will study in Madrid, in Rome, and Lisbon, you can save kind of 40-50,000 per year in education. And what it's interesting that actually your kid can study in another countries, but by UK system or totally in English. So it's interesting because now what is interesting, private equity firm CFC recently bought a 20% stake in the International Schools Partnership, which manages over 100 schools across 25 countries, valuing the company at €7 billion, 3 times higher than 4 years ago. So actually the company that owns 100 schools now cost €7 billion, because school, it's amazing business too, and this business rise the prices. So of course parents try to save. Property tax roulette. A lot of people don't know, if you are buying property in Europe, you need to pay a lot of additionals. It's not only about the price of the real estate itself. It's about additional taxes and fees that you need to pay. And a lot of people, they don't know about that, and then they're kind of surprised. So guys, today I gathered the fresh information for you about this additional payment. So for example, in United Kingdom, if you plan to buy property, you need to pay 5% surcharge for second homes, okay, to operate up to 17% on prices above £1.5 million, okay, and first-time buyers up to 300,000 are exempt, okay. So if you're buying something that is less than £300,000, you don't pay any additionals, okay? But if you are paying something like kind of more expensive, you need to be ready from 5 to 17% of taxes and fees, okay? In Spain, In Catalonia and Valencia, fixed 10% tax. So for example, if you're buying flat for 200,000 euro, you need to pay 20,000 in taxes. And what is interesting here, if you will ask for the mortgage, and for example, 80% bank will give you, no, you will not pay only like 20% of your tax. No, you need to pay 20% entry money and additional 10% of the tax from all the amount of price of flat. So, for example, if it's 200,000 apartment, you need to pay 40,000 euro just to enter to the mortgage and then 20,000 of tax. And then additional fees to the lawyers like 3-5%. So you see, the price is kind of going up. Okay, so in France, tax is around 5%, so less than in Spain. In Germany and Italy, agent fees around 3%. In Belgium, base tax 12%. So actually it's a lot, okay? And in Switzerland, in Zurich, property transaction tax has been abolished since 2005 to boost the market. So in Switzerland, you don't need to pay any taxes when you're buying flats or houses. In Zurich, for example. Okay, if I will have 1 million additionally, I will check. And again, Spain tops the global nomad visa ranking. So every year they're checking what the country is that is the best for nomads. And Spain, again, is the best. So on the first place, we have Spain, on the second, Netherlands, on the third, Uruguay, on the fourth, Canada, on the fifth, Czech Republic, then France, Portugal, UI, Germany, and Malta. Actually, it's interesting because we know that it's kind of mix of taxes and safety and medicine and real estate access. So I think that's why kind of Spain and Netherlands, because it's kind of good mix there. Then we have Uruguay, that lately it's kind of really shining for nomads. Then we have Canada, because everybody knows that you can work there and you can actually move there, and then you can switch from digital nomad to work visa and stay there to work, and salaries in Canada, they are good. And of course on the fifth spot, Czech Republic, because a lot of people, they choose, for example, Prague, because of the cheap pricing for food, for property, for transportation. Attention foreigners directly from Mexico. Interesting news that they want to double visa fees in 2026. We know that lately Mexico is really popular among foreigners who want to come to live in this warm and cheap country. So Mexico think, okay, we will not be as cheap as you think as in the future. So what they changed? For example, now, if you want to ask for 1 year temporary visa, the price is $290. But in 2026, the price will be $580. It will be double the price, okay? If you're asking for 2-year visa, now is the price $435, then will be $870, double again. And if you ask for permanent residency, $355 now, and it will be $705 dollars in the future year. So actually, I think they want to make fair and proportional, as they say, contribution, and they want to maintain balance and order in migration. I don't know actually how these prices will affect, because we know that mostly lately to Mexico are moving people who are digital nomads, mostly, okay? And people who have already some work, some business abroad, and they want to live in Mexico just to not to spend a lot of money on their lifestyle, let's say. So I think this change of the prices, it will affect more people who actually are coming to work. So they kind of close the doors for one people and open the doors for another people. But I don't know, their main goal, maybe it's the best for them. And last, really important news directly from Europe, new border control. Everybody knows that when you have Schengen visa, you need to come to the border, they will put the stamp, and then by the stamps you will count how many days you spent in European Union. So now everything is different. You don't need stamps, you don't need like discounting. Now everything will be digital. So what is interesting here, no more physical stamps in passport. On your first trip under this new system EES, you may be asked to have your photo taken, provide fingerprints, and children under 12 only provide a photo. Okay, so this system automatically tracks the days you spent in the Schengen zone to prevent exceeding the 180 days. So what they actually will check? Overstays, they will have like records of your passport, photos and fingerprints, and they will store this information during 3-5 years. So of course you need to keep this in mind, because you need to arrive a little bit earlier in the airport, you need to follow the signs, and you need to keep your documents handy, because the new system, it's give like little bit more rush in the airport, because a lot of people, they don't know how to use this new system. They kind of will be little bit lost. But I think kind of in all this digitalizing our planet, it's kind of logical, no? So it was the next step that we were waiting for. So now it's totally official, and now it's totally active. This is the main news of relocation for you today, guys, and I want to just add one more news. You know that I will hand the flag of Spain on the main stage on Web Summit 10th of November. I actually really proud that they choose me to present Spain and to actually be with the flag of this amazing country on the main stage of Mayo Arena in Lisbon. So I actually will go there in 1 week. I'm kind of little bit stressed and a little bit kind of shaken about that, but I know that I will present amazing country, I will present amazing company, I will present amazing project. So it's actually a big honor for me to be there with my team, and we will show all our prototypes, we will show our clients portal, we will show our Dream Visa calculator, we will show that actually it's really important and really kind of real to make a relocation digitized and faster, because I know that relocation is kind of now really bureaucratic, really slow, really expensive. So actually I want to make totally opposite. It has to be fast, it has to be really transparent, and it has to be really accessible and affordable. So actually that's my main goal, my main DreamLife mission. So guys, check the new videos and I will give you more information about how it goes. Thank you for watching, subscribe to my channels, and see you in the next one. Bye bye!